G'day ladies and gents, and welcome back to War Thunder. Today, we're going to be having a look at some squad gameplay. Yes, that's right. I'm going to be squadding up with people, and hopefully you'll have a couple more of these, because I did do some squads with viewers, but this particular squad is with Mystic Man, and if you don't know who Mystic Man is, he he casted alongside me with the War Thunder Grand Finals, and it was pretty interesting. We also had another caster, Thunderpants, who was also a player, come and cast with us on the final day, and it was really, really good and really fun and interesting. So if that ever happens again, do come along, and maybe you can get some free goodies. We'll see. We'll see. We'll work with Zerba, who's the esports developer, I guess, and Killiot, who's also an esports developer. Maybe we can get some better prizes for you guys next time, because there were a few and there weren't that many prizes to go around, but I digress. The AMX-50 Foch is one of my favorite tanks, honestly. It's a really, really fun vehicle in general, and it just sort of plays well. It has good front armor, it has good mobility, and it has a good gun. Obviously, it doesn't have a turret, and it doesn't have really good side armor either, and that's where it sort of lets itself down. But in this case, I'm going to be supporting my squad mates here. You can see Mystic already taking a forward position on the northern B hill, and there will be enemies on the southern B hill, which we need to deal with. And the Foch is one of those good things that can, sort of run across open ground somewhat and deal with threats like that, or at least distract them for players to get on the sides. You can see that my other squad mate, who's Flinks, and I've got another one, Chloe, are sort of coming along the sides there. You can see Flinks just south of the B cap, and he's going to put himself in a forward position to allow himself to get some kills. And I'm going to sit a little bit at the rear to try and coordinate an attack and take this B point. With Mystic sitting above, he should be able to either give callouts or maybe take some kills that are distracted on myself. And that is exactly what I'm going to be doing this whole match. I'm going to be the bait. I'm going to be the steel wall, if you will, that makes a hell of a time for the enemies and allows my teammates to really pop off. You can see Flinks there gets his first kill, and Chloe is bringing up the rear there to support Flinks in that little push, because that can be a little bit scary, that push. But speaking of scary, I am pretty much down to 2 crew now, so I might die, and I don't really want to die. I'm facing off against something that I believe has heat FS, because it seemed like it could pen my upper front plate. And I think it does turn out to be a JPZ, and you'll see that a little bit later. It could also be the Ho Reproduction, which is also on that hill, giving me a bit of a hard time. I can't really see what I'm shooting at because of the combination of snow and the trees and the white as well. It really doesn't make it easy, but I am weighing down these enemies. I'm keeping them pinned for Flinks and Chloe to come around the corner and try and take some kills. You can see Flinks there aggressively popping over the ridge, and I'm going to try and cover his cover the road. And you can see now that I'm going to push that road, looking around the donut, the big fat donut. That's often a common place for enemies, and considering that we don't have A, it was a little bit risky to try and push that. But it's okay, it's free, it's clear, and we won't have any problems coming through there for a little while. So I decide to push up straight away. I decide to take an aggressive stance. I see a Tiger P, and I put one into his lower front plate, and that pretty much ends him there, because he had some, I believe his turret was out from maybe another one of my squad mates. It looks like Chloe goes down there, and I believe Flinks as well. I'm not quite sure, but you can see it's just me and Mystic on this flank. And there's not a whole lot that we can really do if we're not, on our toes. You can see there's a Ho Production that I talked about earlier. He manages to take one to the back, and now I'm facing off against a JPZ, and he's taken out my breach and my gunner, probably through that optic, that rangefinder optic. So I angled myself a little bit to try and hopefully get through, or to block his heat FS, which you can do it. It's just extremely rare. He may also have Hesh loaded, and then that makes the whole thing void. But it seems like a Carnarvon on our team is on the ball and takes him out, which is really good news for me, because then I can repair. You can also see, I believe Flinks or Mystic coming down to help me repair. And again, here comes that squad work in play. It's really, really important to keep your teammates close, and at least Mystic has a really fast tank, so he can come and support me really quickly. I'm looking basically at someone coming out of their spawn. I'm thinking someone is going to pop out of their spawn, and I really don't want that to happen while I'm repairing. Anyway, I have that ability now to turn my turret, and I do have my I am down to 2 crew members, so that crew replenishment really worked wonders. You can see it did help me quite a lot, and it's not going to be ideal, but it's better than nothing. Anyway, you can see there, if you look closely at the minimap, the B cap is actually being decapped. So I'm going to quickly cover my tanks as they turn themselves around. And as I can see, there's no one there, so I actually do turn the hull and make a run for it. It is a little bit risky, but I need that B cap secured. Important. It's extremely important that B cap gets secured. And you can see that my squad mates are starting to pressure the donut from the other side. So if I can pressure the donut from my side, then that means that I can get some good flanking shots, or some surprise butt sex, as Jingles might say. I'm continuing the push up, and I don't want to cap the point first. What I want to do is I want to deal with the threat before I take the point. And so I can see some smoke in the donut. I can see nothing quite off there to the left of me, so I'm thinking that it's going to be the right hand side, especially considering that there is a tank already extremely close, and I can see tracks on the ground, and I can also hear engine sounds. I don't have my sounds completely turned off, but you can see there's a Tiger 2H, and I managed to put one into his side and finish him off. Although, was it particularly necessary? I don't know. Maybe it was, but regardless, it's done some work that needed to be done, and as I can wait for this ID to clear, I can go and cap B, but it looks like one of my squad mates is capping that first, which is okay. It's not too bad, although I wouldn't mind the capture point. I still want to be able to get some influence in as the Foch, being one of those heavily armored bully type tanks. I really don't want to sort of sit around and do nothing, so I put myself in front of Flinks just a little bit. You can see he's shooting at someone. Put myself in front of him just a little bit, and as I crest the ridge, I turn the hull. Otherwise, Flinks wouldn't be able to get any more shots onto anyone else, and the low profile of the Foch comes through there. The armor of the Foch as well coming through. And I'm looking at this King Tiger, or this Panther too, and I'm trying to take some shots, but I end up donking one into the rocks in front of me. And then I can see a Panther off to the left of me as well. And I really, really don't want to be dealing with more than one target at once. So I ping them on the map, and I pull back a little bit to try and angle myself a little bit more, and wait for Flinks to sort of pull around and take the kills. I am the distraction here. I am the steel wall. I need to make sure that I stay alive, and I make sure that Flinks stays alive. The Panther panics, or the second Panther panics. The first Panther is killed by Flinks, and that gives me time to repair. I also have Flinks close to me, so he can help me repair, and we can get on our merry way a lot quicker. You can see that repair time has gone down quite significantly, and I'm also able to replenish a couple of shells, which I will probably need in the future. I'm only on 1 kill. I'm only on, 2 kills rather, but it's what happens next that will be the interesting part. Flinks and I, you see, are going to push together in a bit of a dynamic duo after the packet loss slows down, of course. Australian internet beyond midnight is pretty garbage, and I've had it drop out more than once, and, I don't really live in a rural area as such. I live in quite a metropolitan area, and so it's a little bit strange. But there we go, that's the wonderful Australian infrastructure for you. Regardless, I'm waiting for that packet loss to die down, and I'm taking a quick look around me, and I can see Chloe there in the air, spotting a couple of targets out in the front, or in front of us, and Flinks takes out another one. He's on a bit of a roll here, as you can see, and I'm going to try and support him. That's exactly what the Foch is supposed to do. It is a support vehicle. It has a really good gun, and it has really good armor, so you can get a lot of kills, but if you can hold down a corridor for your team to come in and swoop and take some kills, this is where you have, you exhibit the most strength as the Foch. I can hear an engine as well, and it seems like Flinks is going to deal with a Jagdtiger in front of him. Whereas, if he'd waited for me, I could have done the same, but it looks like Flinks is putting he's a very skilled man. He's a very, very skilled player, and he has played on tournament teams before, and I believe he came 6th or 5th in the War Thunder Grand Finals in the first season. So, he's not a bad player at all. And, he's not a bad guy. So, I can see there's a King Tiger. I put one into his side and only get his load off, which is kind of disappointing. But it looks like he'll get bombed out in a few seconds, so I'm going to leave him, and I'm going to go on the reload. And there we go, he gets bombed out by a friendly plane. I take one to the side, although my side is quite angled. You can see Flinks is going to push in front of me. As I reload, I'm going to be that steel wall and take the shot for him. Flinks rolls around the corner and deals with him quite nicely. And here's where it starts to get interesting. We're at a little choke point. You can see that rock right in front of us, as in directly in front of me. Not the one that the Coelian is hiding behind, but the one the King Tiger is hiding behind. That can be that can be flanked very easily. And I want to push up and I want to take out this King Tiger, but my reload is extremely slow. And Flinks here is going to need to deal as much damage as possible. So he's going to flank around the close rock, and I'm going to make sure no one flanks around me on the far rock so that I can, perhaps deal with this King Tiger. It's looking a little bit desperate here. Although, as soon as the King Tiger pops smoke, I know this is my chance to push up. My shell is reloaded, there's nothing to the left of me, there's nothing going to flank on the right of me that I can see, so I'm thinking maybe I should pop around the corner and put one into the King Tiger. And that's exactly what I'm going to try and do. I pop around, I see the King Tiger there, and I put one into his front plate and I take out his driver only, which is really, really unfortunate because there's I believe it's an Ostwind or a Coelian sitting further back. And if he can get my barrel or if he can get my tracks, then I'm a little bit screwed because I have less mobility. And obviously the French AMX-50 does not have good reverse speed. Well, in fact, most of the French tanks at these high tiers, except maybe the Lorraine, don't really have that great a reverse gear. And it's really, really weird. You'd expect them to, I don't know, maybe they just drive forward the other way instead. Regardless, jokes aside, the Tiger is popping more smoke so he can repair, and I'm waiting for something to push around. You can see I've got my camera angled, and there it is. There's a Ferdinand. I originally thought it was a Stur Emil, and I managed to take out its engine and set it on fire. What a surprise, a Ferdinand on fire. And now what I want to do is I don't want to be in the line of fire of that Coelian. I don't want to be in the line of fire of the Ferdinand though, and I don't want to be in the line of fire of the King Tiger. Flinks has gone and gotten killed, and so I don't really have that much in terms of cards to play. I don't have that much to do. I can take out the Ferdinand, and now it's put me in a little ditch, which leaves me susceptible to being flanked. I'm being flanked here by the Coelian, and I'm also going to be flanked by the King Tiger. More importantly, my track gets taken out, and so that leaves me with no mobility and only an IS-2 to sort of cover me. And an IS-2 versus King Tiger, I think I would pick King Tiger any day of the week. The King Tiger just has more armor in more places and a better gun, a better reload, better shell velocity, better penetration, everything. So it looks like I'm a little bit screwed. And you can see there's a Ferdinand as well putting itself around the corner. I angle myself to try and deal with the Ferdinand, and it looks like the King Tiger is also going to round the corner and try and take me out as well. There he goes. 5 kills, 1 cap, and 1 assist with that King Tiger. I get double teamed or triple teamed in this case, by 3 Germans. And now I'm going to jump into a plane to try and secure the caps. It looks like Mystic and Chloe and maybe Flink's third spawn has been able to, sort of secure that C cap. And that was the really important cap. That was the linchpin in the attack. You can see we've all taken up 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th place on the team. You don't need a team, you just need a good squad. And in fact, you can carry with a single 4-man squad really, really easily if everyone knows what they're doing. Even if you have a crappy team, you can do extremely well. All you need to do is find the right friends to play with and maybe get a little bit good. Obviously, work as a team, know your positioning, know your tank. A couple of little tips and tricks that you can take from watching streamers and YouTubers play. Here we go as well. It looks like I'm in the F47, about to take out what looks like a 288, and A is being capped, so I really want to make sure this 288 gets taken out. And it looks like he just is shy of that capture point. So I managed to, secure the team, the A point, and now I have a plane behind me because I've pulled up straight into it, like a like an absolute idiot. But I can see that there's something engaging flinks, and it looks like it's an Austin 2. I go to, just rocket it. Whatever. It is what it is. It's basically at the end of the match. We have the 3-cap advantage. It is about 15 minutes into the game, and so the bleed is going to be extremely fast. So, it's pretty much game. And we pretty much won the match for our team. Coming first, second, third, and fourth on the team. Who needs a good team when you have just a good squad? You can carry, but it's good fun to play in a squad, especially if they're good like this. Anyway, ladies and gents, that is the Fosh. I hope you enjoyed me sort of talking through the squad gameplay and not just my own. I'll try and get some more of that later, but for now, take care, and I'll catch you next time.